Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It is Tuesday, September 8th, 2015. We are exactly 2 weeks from Pope Francis arriving in the United States September 22nd for his unprecedented visit, where he will speak with Congress and the President, something never before done by the Catholic Pope. What's most interesting about the Pope's visit to me is that he leaves September 27th. This is the birthday of the Jesuit order, and that is interesting because Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope, at least publicly admitted. Notice that the Jesuit order is currently 474 years old. The word murder has gematria of 474, and murder is no stranger to the Catholic Church. Notice in simple English gematria, murder sums to 79. It should be noted that the first papal visit to the United States happened in 1979 by Pope John Paul II, who replaced John Paul I, the 33-day pope, who was murdered by the numbers, as we will get to. Also, True Seeker, in this video, we're going to talk about the Roanoke TV crew shooting hoax. I want you to notice that Roanoke has identical gematria to murder. The Roanoke shooting hoax is very much connected to the 33-day Pope and Pope Francis's upcoming visit. Before we get to that, we just said how Pope Francis is the first Jesuit Pope. Notice his birthday, December 17th, 1936. This is a date, Truth Seeker, with 84 numerology. And the reason that's important is because Jesuit has 84 gematria. In history, the Jesuits are blamed for the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. The date Lincoln died, April 15th, 1865, is a date with 84 numerology. And think about the ties between Lincoln and Obama, both being from Illinois and more. Obama in Jewish gematria sums to 84. His birthday is August 4th. Again, this is a Jesuit number, also a number important to this nation, United States of America, and Pythagorean gematria sums to 84. So with regards to the 33-day Pope, Pope John Paul I, he became Pope August 26th, the exact same date as the Roanoke, Virginia TV crew shooting hoax. He would die 33 days later, September 28th, 1978. This year, that will be the day after the Pope leaves, the day of the fourth and final blood moon, completing the tetrad. The date he died on, the 33-day Pope, was a date with 44 numerology, the kill number. Think about how Pope Francis is visiting the 44th President, Obama. The last president to die in office was JFK, the 35th president, but he was also the 44th term president. What's interesting about him being president number 35 is that the word Catholic in Pythagorean gematria sums to 35. Right now we're very much talking about presidents, assassinations, and Catholicism. The first president to ever die in office was William Henry Harrison, who died April 4th, 44. He was the 9th president. His nephew was the 23rd president, 9 and 23, like September 23rd, the date that Obama is visiting with Francis. Think about it. MLK assassinated on 4-4. Julius Caesar, once upon a time, assassinated in 44 BC. Anyhow, the 33-day Pope, his birth name was Albino Luciani, name gematria of 122, also Jewish of 404, drop that 0, you have another 44. But notice how 122 syncs up with Pope Francis, the current Pope. Also, if you write out the word 44 in Jewish gematria, it sums to 972, which backwards is kind of like the date September 27th. 2-7 for 27, 9 for the month. Possibly a coincidence, possibly not. Pope Francis's birth name is Jorge Bergoglio, that same gematria that connects to 44, the kill number. Also notice his simple English gematria of 145. With regards to 145, let's go to the Roanoke, Virginia shooting hoax. The accused killer is Vester Flanagan. Notice how Vester Flanagan sums to 145, just like Jorge Bergoglio. This shooting happened in Monetta. It's being referred to as the Roanoke shooting, but the town of Monetta is bordered by Route 122, this number very specific to Pope Francis. And in this shooting in Roanoke or in Moneta, the women who were shot and shown in the media were wearing Catholic colors. Allison Parker was dressed in red and black like an archbishop. Vicky Gardner was dressed in white like a pope. Red and black and white, Catholic colors. Here we have Pope Francis with one of his archbishops. This also synced up with the Sandy Hook shooting hoax. Emily Parker, one of the victims, wearing red and black, a similar name to Allison Parker, a similar outfit. The shooting in Moneta, it happened on the 79th meridian, the number corresponding with Roanoke, corresponding with murder, corresponding with the last or the first papal visit to the United States. A fellow truth seeker found this out. I'll just throw it in there. Jesuit order kills Obama has simple English gematria of 239, a lot like the date September 23rd, the date Pope Francis visits with Obama. Now get this, truth seeker. We just talked about 44 and the kill number. Vester Flanagan, the shooter at Roanoke, was hired March 29th, 2012 and fired February 1st, 2013. A span of 44 weeks in a day. But get this, his hire date has numerology of 64, like the name Vester Flanagan, and also numerology of 44, the kill number. See how coded all this stuff is? See how repetitive all these numbers are? You learn gematria, you learn numerology, you can quickly see through these stories. That town where the shooting happened at, Moneta, is where they filmed the movie What About Bob, which is all about mental health. And this shooting has provoked a discussion about mental health, just as many of the shooting hoaxes in the past few years have done the same thing. Towns on the 79th meridian, Roanoke 79. So much murder coding. Even in this shooting, when they went back to the studio, the woman's name was McBroom, who had the surprised face and said, "I don't know what we just saw happen." Her name, gematria, 79. This entire thing is a coded spectacle of numbers, truth seeker. When the shooting first happened, the initial details came from somebody named Jeff Marks. Notice that Jeff Marks has Pythagorean gematria of 35, the number connecting to Catholic. JFK, the 35th president, 44th term president, and also, with the S exception, 44, the kill number. Then we get more details. We find out that Vester Flanagan worked there for 44 weeks, hired on a 44 date. No surprises. To switch gears for a second, truth seeker, I want to focus on Allison Parker, the woman who participated in the shooting hoax dressed in red and black. This woman right here, Allison Parker. What's interesting is how she connects with Alice Parker, one of the Salem witch trial victims. They said that the woman shot in Roanoke was 24 years old. In the witch trials, 24 women died. 19 by stoning, 1 by hanging, and 4 in jail while awaiting trial. Notice that Alice Parker was killed in the witch trial September 22nd, the date that Pope Francis arrives. This date has a numerology of 139, the date she was killed in the witch trials, 9/22/1692. The exact same gematria as the name Allison Parker. The exact same gematria as Freemasonry. Could it be a coincidence, or could it be a detailed part of the coding? Again, we're talking about an event that very much syncs up with the Pope, and the Pope arrives this year on September 22nd. In the movie Evan Almighty, that's the day that God tells him to prepare for the destruction of the earth. In the movie that came out in 1986, Little Shop of Horrors, we're told to prepare for the date of destruction is September 23rd, the day that follows. Again, truth seeker, a lot's been foreshadowed this year. There was a train wreck in Philadelphia, one of 7 churches in the book of Revelation. That train crash happened at 9:23 p.m. on May 12th, 2015. The date of May 12th, 2015 has a numerology of 52, like the gematria of the word Pope. The time of 9:23 p.m. is a lot like the date September 23rd, the 266th day of the year, the 266th Pope. The date he visits with Obama, the 44th president. And with regards to the Pope in trains, Truth Seeker, there's more than meets the eye. The name Bergoglio, his birth last name, has Jewish gematria of 230, just like the word train. The phrase train wreck has gematria of 122, just like Pope Francis. Earlier this year, there was another shooting hoax connected to the Pope. It was the shooting of the premiere of the movie Trainwreck, which starred LeBron James in his first movie. Notice that LeBron James in Jewish gematria sums to 923, like September 23rd. The man who shot up the premiere of that movie was named John Russell Hauser, who has name gematria of 239, another way to write the date, September 23rd. So much foreshadowing. And again, the Pope is very much connected to trains. Speaking of Pope and trains, here's a picture from 2008 before he was Pope Francis, back when he was just Jorge Bergoglio. Notice he's doing a Masonic pose on a train right here. The hidden hand pose, as done by George Washington, Stalin, and many other Masons throughout history. So that's pretty much the message, Truth Seeker. These numbers, the time of the visit, it's all by design. The people who rule this world, they love to recreate history, tease us with news stories, coded information that is meant to slip past the eyes and minds of the mainstream masses. But if you have these skills that I'm teaching, you'll learn to see right through it and understand exactly what's being done. So hope that was clear enough, Truth Seeker. These people hoaxing us, they all need to be held accountable. Justice needs to be served. Too many hoaxes for too long, and they're coming to a very real head that might have very real consequences for all of us. And should those consequences be realized, it will be because as a people, we were too silent for too long. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.